Vedish and Srini, you've been quiet for some time. So, I want to add another factor to the mix, and I can't help but adding it because I am a woman, which is, what role does gender play in this whole situation? As a woman, I am cognizant of the fact that the way I deal with stress is somewhat different from the way my male counterparts deal with it. So I would love to hear from you that as a leader, do you think even in something like this, mental and emotional health, well-being, do we need different approaches for different genders?
Well, Pooja, quite interestingly, pre-COVID time, we have something called a Women Leadership Board in our company. As you know that our global CEO, for the first time, she's the lady who became a CEO even in the pharma industry, right?
Yeah.
So quite a lot of buzz that happened around the subject of women being a leader and what challenges. And she set an example of, she has 4 children, she manages, runs a global organization, right? And there's a good amount of example that is set. And during the Women Leadership Board, it's run by women. Of course, there are men who participate in this leadership committee. What I find it interesting is that, of course, you go through those transitions even during a normal time. But the test of it comes during the pandemic like this, right? Where, in fact, very interestingly, pre-COVID, we were preparing for a complete smart technology in our office, from a typical traditional office to a cabinless office to a completely digital office, where we were promoting work from home, and if it's not necessary. But quite interestingly, it looked like as if we prepared for a pandemic, and suddenly it's all becoming so seamless, and people seem to be delivering, having conversation. But very important thing that comes out is what the point that you mentioned, which is the blind spot, is how the women are dealing with this. The unfortunate part is that whether you like it or not, in an Indian context, however liberated you are, when women tend to look after the home. And where now she has to look after the child, and she has to look after if the in-laws are there, parents are there, and even the husband. So quite interestingly, the meetings are being scheduled, whether it's a global meeting, regional meetings, and everybody expects the lady to be on a call. And how do we teach? One of the things that we are looking at is how do we teach women to say no to some of these calls, right? To deal, because at the end of the day, this is not a working from home. This is pandemic working from home, right?
Yeah.
So,
and also, Vedish, how do we teach men to expect slightly lesser?
But there's exactly the point that is being right now. There's a lot of conversation about how do we, without feeling guilt about the fact that I'm not attending the meeting, right? There is an expectation I can call people at any time, right? Because we are not in the office. People forget that there are multiple things that are added to the so-called somebody running the household. The work has gone up by almost about double. So I fully agree with you. This is the one blind spot, I would say, as an organization, that it's going through right now, resolving it. How do we be sensitive to the needs of the gender, like what you just mentioned about women as a gender? I think it's a brilliant point. Every organization need to catch the bull by horn, and particularly where the organization, a lot of women leaders are there, women workers are there in good proportion. Like, for example, we have made almost 50% of our leadership team is women, right? And we've changed it from 5%, 10%, a large number of workforce. So given that context, it is a challenge, but at the same time, you have a business results to achieve, right?
Absolutely.
And you have a quarterly results still, whether you like it or not, people are still looking at quarterly results to be seen. Even though people say, no, this is pandemic, but the fact of the matter, there is the inherent pressure in the system of delivering business results. But you're right, absolutely. I think this conversation has to happen through, I think, being, as you said, authentic. And one of the initiatives that we rolled out, it's called as the BU initiative, bring the best of you in the organization, which we started pre-COVID. I think all of them are helping us for people to be open and courageous in communicating. Otherwise, it wouldn't have got communicated to start with. People are now communicating about this, and they are able to resolve and not taking this as somebody not able to deal with the workload. So
Right.
I think it's a very, very important point that we need to be addressing as a company.
Absolutely. Srini?
Yeah, so I think like most Indian organizations, we are also male skewed. So, I'm not that very sensitive to women's requirement. But I think over time, with more senior leadership, women coming on board, we've got more and more sensitive. And of course, this has now kind of become a requirement for us that in every position, we look at women as an alternative all the time. Having said that, because of this low strength, we don't have like a policy around it. What we obviously have is women leadership actually pushing for that particular cause. And that actually helps in highlighting this stuff at a very higher level. So I wouldn't say there is path-breaking work that's happened, but there is a recognition that needs to happen. And there is always a recognition saying, okay, we need to be a little more lenient with women with family, with other priorities to handle when they're from work from home. So that's a good starting point of actually recognizing. But I think, I probably want to give a little bit of an example around one of the things that we have done is bringing distraction to all the chaos that's there in our lifestyle, right? So that's a very critical stuff. Like Puneet talked about that butterfly effect, that you need some positivity, you need that 15 minutes of break that you feel nice about. I guess that's something most of the organization, especially us, are trying to do. Our HRs have been trying to run a lot of these distraction programs to take people away. Some of these are something today in a work from home environment, or at least a lockdown environment, difficult for people to achieve, which is some talent recognition, sharing of good news is around, all of that stuff. So we run this program called Prism, which actually is a very good contact program that we do with all our, we have 1,200 people across the country. We use that as a contact program, and that's usually either contests, either talent pool. These are natural. Most companies do it. But this, according to us, is not just done for the purpose of engagement. I think it also is required to distract people away from all the nonsense that are happening around us, especially with women, so much of things to do. If they can get a 2 minutes break and showcase their talent or talk about something that they want to talk about.
Yeah.
I think that's
Wonderful.
something that we've tried to do.
Great.